Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Friday morning. We got a great show lineup, giving away some seafood and some great fishing tips. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. We're looking at a high today at 90 and a low of 74. It's pretty good difference right there. Water temperature has climbed back up to 88 degrees, so it's climbed up a degree each day this week, so it's back to about where it was. The river readings, we're looking at the Apalachicola, Bluntstown. It's level off. It's been level now for about a week and a half. We're looking at reading this morning at a 3.9, just right under 4. And at Choctawhatchee at Caryville, the reading now is at a 5.3. It dropped off about 2 days ago. It's going to be even level out for the weekend. Not much movement on either of the big river systems here in the Panhandle there. Now looking at the tide chart brought to us by Kent and Forest Lawn. A little bit of a tide. We're about to get out of those neap tides. This morning won't be bad. We got the high tide at 12:24 this morning, and it's going to be going out until about 10:33 this morning. So we got outgoing tides, and it's going to flip on us right around noon. The marine forecast will be north-northwest at about 8. We're going to take a quick break and come back with our special guest. All right, welcome back to our guest today, Brent Edwards. We had him on before, Panama City Fishing. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you too, sir.
Glad to have you back. He's been sending some pictures, and this fella's been catching some fish now. But first, before we get into fishing, Brent, you do a lot of fishing.
I try to.
I mean, you really do. I keep up with you and all, but we've got a big tournament coming up.
Yes, sir,
next weekend.
Yes, we do.
And we got a poster right here. Tell us about this tournament. You sort of putting this on?
Yes, sir, I have been putting it on. We started it about a week and a half ago, and it's going to be the Panama City Fishing Club Kingfish Tournament 2018, hosted out of Watson's Bayou Marina. And we got a few local sponsors to jump on board with us. Howl Tackle, Hart's Marine, and Mojo are the co-sponsors of the event. And we also have a lot of other sponsors as far as the marine and tackle store industry goes around here. There's going to be a $1,500 bonus payout along with guaranteed money and prizes. We're going to have a 90% payout of a $400 entry per boat with about a 20-plus boat turnout. We'll have available slips available for the event. It's going to be $10 a day for the slip if you want to stay overnight. We'll have about 24 slips available total. The event will be on the 22nd. It will start at 5 a.m. in the morning, lines in the water, and end at 5 p.m. And that's the final weigh-in. We'll have the captain's party on September 21st. That's going to be at 6 to 7. And we welcome everybody to join us and just come out and have a good time. You know, we're trying to bring a good tournament back to this area and bring some locals out to the Watson's Bayou area that haven't been out there in a while.
That's a great setup. First of all, the venue itself, we know about that. That's one of our sponsors. It's an excellent place to have a tournament.
Yes, sir.
It really is. And then it's a lot of work to put on any kind of tournament. It could be a bass tournament, catfish tournament, or king mackerel tournament, a lot of work. And these fellas worked hard to put this together, I can promise you. And that's a really good payout.
We were surprised with what we got in such a short notice.
Yeah.
So.
And you got a lot of sponsors. Of course, we always try to sponsor anything like this and try to help out, and because it's promoting some really good fishing. And you know, weather-wise, those kings are coming in those big kings are showing up a little bit, aren't they?
Yes, sir. They have been around for the past month or so.
Yeah. It's going to be a great time of the year. This is, to me, the time of the year to have a king mackerel tournament is always in September. I'm glad to see y'all taking an initiative to do this. So if they want to enter and all this, just go online, everything be online? Or
We actually have a Facebook page that just started last week, and it's called Panama City Fishing Club Kingfish. It's a public page open to anybody. You're more than welcome to join. Keep you updated with all the new stuff that we're putting on the site. Okay. Also, we have the Panama City Fishing Forum you're familiar with. We post all of our events from the club on that page also.
Yeah. Really good stuff and all. And while we got up here on the TV screen, we want to look at some pictures and all of some things you're doing. Tell us about this first one. There's some great pictures here.
That was last year in the Mexico Beach Reef Association Kingfish Tournament 2017, and I was fishing with Matt Paramore And we fished the pro side of the tournament, and we actually weighed a third place fish in the pro division. So it was a pretty cool thing. We were just setting the kite up.
There it is right here?
Yes, sir.
How much that one weigh?
I believe it was a 31-pound kingfish.
Okay.
So
nice king.
And that was our vets trip. We just took that in June. Took out 24 vets.
That was cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that, and I wanted to go. We were tied up but boy, they had a great time, didn't they?
Yes, sir. We caught 220 snapper total, along with beeliners, groupers. Oh, it was an amazing day. It was a good time to share with everybody.
Which boat did y'all go on?
That was the Captain Anderson's 4.
Okay.
So they had gave us a discounted rate for all the vets that we had sponsored, and then we had our club members go ahead and pay the regular fee, and we all joined, and we had filled the boat. It was an enjoyment day.
That's cool. Is this boat here then?
Yes, sir. There it is.
That's cool. And
lots of fish.
Look at that. That's like the old days. Those fish hanging off the side like that. What time y'all went? How long ago?
That was in June.
In June. That was a good time to go.
Yes, sir. It was. Yes, sir. And that was recent. That was this year in the Kingfish tournament. I had got some 2 lines out, and got my first kite flown by myself this year, and it was pretty cool.
Okay, we're going to talk about kite fishing a little bit and all, but that's some good pictures and all. And we got some pictures to show you a little bit later of a good trip you took. So you've been hot lately as far as catching fish.
Just been lucky to find them. That's all.
We talk about that, the timing, but people say, well, you just got lucky. But to be lucky, you have to go. You got to go on a pretty regular basis. Sooner or later, you're going to get lucky.
I've studied over the last few years.
Yeah, really good. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with some really good tips. All right, welcome back. Sitting here with Brent Edwards and all, who does an awful lot of fishing and putting on this big tournament coming up next weekend. And we're going to be excited about it. We're going to try to get there and film some of that weigh-in. But I told, when Brent and I were talking about the show, I want him to share as much of fishing knowledge as he can to help you become a better fisherman. We're always trying to do all kinds of things like this. So let's get started, buddy. What do you want to talk about?
All right, I can go over some stuff that I would start with on my flat lines and on my kite setups. So we'll start with the flat lines first. I'll normally take a single strand wire with a live bait hook, really small, same kind of hook I use for the mahi. And then I'll put a stinger hook along the back side of it with a treble hook. And what that does is, if this hook misses him and he strove to strike it, it has a good chance of grabbing the top of his head or somewhere along his jaw. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I want to jump over to the rods and reels that I use and show you guys the way the drag needs to be set. So the drag normally on strike is going to be somewhere in this range here, and you want it to be really light, about 3 to 4 pounds maybe on the strike part of it. You're going to allow your rod to sit about 10 o'clock and let the rod fight the fish, not you fight the fish, but you want to flex tip. So if he decides to run, he's going to be able to flex the tip. You're going to keep the rod tight, not going to lose the fish when he comes at you, because you have a fast retrieval reel, a 6-to-1 ratio. That's going to allow you to gain your line back really quick if he comes right at you. And adjust the drag as needed. Try not to ever go about 10 pounds, more than 10 pounds on fighting a fish. And then that's the same rod and reel that I use for a kite setup. This is what I use for a flat line. Very simple setup. You've probably seen these before back in your day.
Oh yeah.
Easy bailless.
What happened, the original old timers, they just took the bell off because it's just so much easier to just flip it. I mean, instead of having to flip it and all, just slide right off.
You have first cast is what I was told.
First cast.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly what it was. I hadn't seen one of those in a while though. That's cool. And I didn't realize they were still doing them.
This is gonna be the kite rod and reel. This allows me to fish by myself with 2 rods and reels on my lines going out for my kites. I haven't tried 3 yet, but that's just going to be a headache, I think.
Explain to people the setup in that, so they understand. So you're on the back of your boat, so you got everything set out. You like to bottom fish, and you can do a combination thing.
Yes, sir.
So tell them the setup.
What I'm liking to start doing now is flatlining. So what I try to incorporate with the bottom fishing is why everybody else on the boat's bottom fishing, I'm going to start kite fishing. So with my kite fish setup, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my drag, open my bail on this rod. I'm gonna put my kite and attach it to this swivel at the end of my quick releases. And it's gonna fly up in the air like that, just like in this picture right here. My kite's sitting over to the side and it's flying out like this, and then my rods and reels are right in there, and I'm just letting out the drag as it's flying away. Now, when I get it set to where it needs to go, I'll just leave everything like this, set it down back in the rod holder, and I'll adjust these lines as needed on my rods and my reels. Those lines, when I go to set them out, are gonna go in these quick releases. When a fish strikes, it just pops it out of the quick release. I start reeling the fish in, and I fight them on my rods and my reels. That's basically your quick setup for a kite.
Okay.
It's not very difficult to use, and with the electric reel, it allows you to not have to have that many people on board to be able to have a successful kite fishing trip.
We've talked about kite fishing. You know, you may remember us doing this some down in the Sea Quarters tournament in Carabel, and the beauty of that is sort of gets it away from the boat and away from commotion. It's sort of peaceful and quiet out there, and that wind is beautiful too.
Yes, sir. You can cover a lot more ground that way. I have different size weights.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I will throw different weights on. Obviously, the heavier weight being as farther away from me to keep my line down in the water, and try to keep your kite baits up on the top of the surface. But some of them you might have a foot or two underneath the surface and then coming back up to the top of the surface. Then on my inside line, I may have him right on the surface, just above the surface coming out. So with the current and the waves, you just want to stay right at that top of the water column. But I like to put different weights on to be able to put my baits farther and shallower in the water.
And that's a good point right there too. And when you get your kite out, what kind of how far does it get out from your boat?
The way I have this set up on these quick disconnects here, these are set up to pull at every 40 feet.
40 feet, okay.
Yes,
every
sir.
40 feet you can click it. Okay.
They pull out. Now, I'm curious to find out what's the farthest distance that you can fly them.
Yeah.
I haven't figured that one out yet, but maybe next show I can tell you. I would assume 100 feet away from the boat would probably be the max that you'd want to have one line, so maybe 200, because you got to remember, you got to have enough line on your reel to keep up with everything if he decides to take a big run. So.
Okay, what are you anticipating coming up for the tournament as far as the different size fish and all? What size? What are we looking at?
I'm hoping we have a good 40-pound kingfish for first place.
That's always a goal, that 40-pounder.
Yes, sir, and maybe a nice another close to 100-pound wahoo like the Mexico Beach Reef Association had.
That was something, wasn't it?
That was a big wahoo.
That was amazing.
And Spanish also, maybe they can come in with a 5-pound Spanish. That would be a nice fish to put up on the board.
Okay. What other kind of fishing tips you got in there? You talking about?
In this box, this is just a kite box, but I do have one other thing. This is on the East Coast, and what this is called a Macahoo, and you control this. Bump troll it if you want.
Okay.
It comes from Big Nick Lures out of North Carolina, and just want to pray for everybody over there that's going to deal with this storm, that they all make it out safe. And
that's true now. And let me mention this. Brent has a lot of East Coast fishing experience, and that's why he's been Gulf Coast and the East Coast, and he sort of had a double dose of fishing knowledge, really.
Yes, sir. Coming from South Florida, you're in the hub, the heartland of all the fishing.
And they do a lot of serious fishing with that.
Yes, sir.
So, what pound leader is that, you think?
I would think this is a class of a 150 or a 200.
Yeah.
I use 400 on some of them, but I didn't use 400 on this. So I believe this is a 150 mono. And I always use mono first. I don't mind losing a lure to a big fish if I have a chance of catching the biggest fish at first. So I, again, don't fight them with big drag, and I try to ease them in the boat as easy as I can.
Cool. All right. We're going to do one more segment. Before we get into that segment, though, we got a couple of things to do. We got a draw. We got a lot more stuff to show you, but this is our segment where we draw for the winners for the Tarpon Dock Seafood for the $20 gift certificate and red snapper. So before I do that, I wrote myself a little note. Tammy Reynolds has some fishing lures for sale. I understand. Tammy, let me know if you got any fishing lures for sale. Okay. Now I'm gonna let you draw one name at a time. This is gonna be for $20. All right. At Tarpon Dock. And who's that winner there?
Houston Taylor.
Houston Taylor. Parker. Houston watches the show every morning. The Taylor family. Now he's a fine fisherman.
Okay.
Yes, sir. He likes to fish at Apalachicola tributary a lot. Every time I go down there, we run into him. All right, now next, it's going to be a big red snapper.
All right.
And that's going to be
Ron
McCamick up there in Southport. So we've got Parker and Southport. Congratulations, Ron and Houston. Two good outdoorsmen there. So y'all don't even have to go fishing for your food this week. Just run down to Tarpon Dock. Let's take our final break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this Friday morning. Hope you're getting ready for a big weekend and all. Sitting here with Brent Edwards from Panama City Fishing Club and a very ardent fisherman himself. So let's take a look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. Looking on your screen, we're looking at 4:33 to 5:33 this morning. I'm sorry, 6:33. And then this afternoon, 4:57 to 6:57. And you fish a lot. How do you think about those fishing game times?
I would say they're pretty close and accurate.
Okay.
Majority of the minor bites have been really good.
Yeah, so far it's been 100% of the fishermen I've asked have always said something along those lines. So I just feel the same way about it. Hold up that kite, show people what we're talking about. That's a kite, and it sort of folds in and all, and keep it like that. That way people don't have to see you. No.
I know his face.
Okay, we say you got a face for radio. But anyway, one of the good things, that's a fascinating fishing though. So anyway, let's move on. Y'all got some stuff coming up later on down the line. What all you got coming up?
We have our Christmas party coming up in December, and normally what we do is we have all our club members come, we cook out, we have all our sponsors come together, we make a big event for all our club members. Mm-hmm. Feed everybody, pass out gifts. We have a Dirty Santa, just a camaraderie of friends getting together, talking about fishing stories all year long. And then we also set up for our kids combo event where we get planned for the year.
If somebody wants to join how can people join this club and all?
You can go to the PanamaCityFishingClub.com, and we have a PayPal link set up for people to go ahead and sign up there. We also have monthly meetings. Last month we were just at Hart's Marine. We did a water pump change out for boat motors for all our members to come see.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
And basically, we have a fishing forum on Facebook, and we do all our events and host everything on social media through that.
Good stuff. I keep up with them and all, and I keep trying to get those meetings, but something always coming up. But y'all keep on. I'm gonna make it there one night. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This weekend, let's talk about fishing for this weekend. First of all, what's one of the things we got as fishermen this weekend? What we got to sort of dreadfully look out for?
Unfortunately, we've been hearing a lot of signs of red tide coming out of the bays.
And you've seen it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's it looking out there? You seeing quite a few of them?
A lot of dead bait. Some big bottom fish are starting to come up.
Are you
too.
serious?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Unfortunately. So
okay. We usually it hits those bait fish first. You always see those. They come in and sort of trickle in, and then you start to see more, and that's sort of what y'all seen this weekend.
I'm afraid that maybe with that storm that came through, it might have pulled some of that red tide up from the Central Florida and maybe pushed it up towards us, and so. Unfortunately.
I believe the same thing too. I really do. When that storm was coming through, that's one of the first things I thought about after safety for the people and all. I thought, well, that red tide don't come this way. So anyway, we're going to just deal with it best you can and try to find some good fishing areas. I know you're going to fish a lot of near shore, right offshore.
Yes, sir. If you can get out past 9 miles, there's a pretty good clean water. Okay. So that would give some people maybe some hope. And maybe we'll see next week about how this red tide does.
Yeah, that's true. Now, if you're going to do some inshore fishing and all, we're going to have a falling tide in the morning, so it's going to be a good situation where you like to fish, get close to some of those troughs and all, and that tide's going to be falling out. Those fish will be feeding. Some of your inshore fishing buddies, have you talked to them this week?
I have.
What have they been doing?
I heard that there's pilchard still in the bay, and there's menhaden still in the bay. So with that being said, not all the bait is dead.
Yeah.
So don't give up.
Oh yeah. The thing about that red tide, it doesn't come in and cover 100% of the area. So you just have to look around and move around and see. Now on the freshwater fishing side, you folks that are freshwater fishing tomorrow, you don't have to worry about red tide this morning. But the bass fishing been hot. I mean, they've been catching a lot of big bass. You saw that record fish, and I'm going to talk about that Monday too. And then also the brim fishing been good, catfish has been excellent. So it's going to be a good weekend for freshwater fishing. Fly fishing up in those sloughs, it's going to be a good weekend for that. So be looking for, we've had a lot of rain.
We have.
And it's been amazing. It really, up in North Bay and West Bay and Apalachicola Bay, you're getting a lot of that runoff, and the water is still tannic colored.
It is.
And that's it. So what are you going to fish for? What are you going to try this weekend?
I'm going to try to go back out and see if I can't find any more seaweed flats and try to come back with some mahi.
We didn't get time to show those pictures. You caught some nice mahi.
I caught 2 record breakers that day. I started out with a 10-pound bull that I broke my first record on, and then I caught a 14.4 pound bull and broke that record twice in one day.
I've got those pictures. I'm gonna pull them up and show them to you Monday, and the ones that Brent is talking about. And you've got an app on Blue Water.
Yes, sir.
Blue Water.
It's called Rip Charts,
Okay.
and you can sign up a free membership trial for 2 days. But I would highly suggest listen to the people that run it and tell you that take the tutorials first, so you get an idea of what to do with your free membership and not wasting your time. Then also you'll want to sign up afterwards, because with that app, I caught my first wahoo by myself, and then a week later caught my next wahoo by myself. And that was all because of that app. Last week I was able to catch 7 mahi, and I was able to pull in some of the best mahi I've ever had, all because of the app was able to tell me where the blue water was.
That's a water testimonial, because so much gas is wasted and so much time is wasted looking for that, that blue water, that clean blue water.
Yes, sir.
And now with that, it's going to narrow it down. That's going to be interesting. We're going to look into that.
It is. Very good app.
Okay. We're about run out of time, Brent.
Thank you for having me.
Great job. And y'all get ready for the tournament. If you fish the next week, then come on into the weigh-in. I'll talk more about it next week, but the weigh-in will be about 5 o'clock.
The final weigh-in will be at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
It starts the weigh-in at 3 p.m. on Saturday, September 22nd. And don't forget, if you want to get any updates, we have a Facebook page.
Have a great weekend. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.